It's 10 sets of push-ups. Would you actually sleep a proper night's sleep, person? I know you're like fully rested because you don't need sleep, but it actually is very inconvenient that you're sleeping just 2 seconds each night. Because I'm not letting you get like full on sleepy. Because now it's super dark. We're in an area that's not safe. Is that window open? And I think it made the comment that I think once this run, because one of the things I've said about these runs, I'm just waiting it out. That's what's happening. This corner, we live here now. And fast forward. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's super dark. No, we don't need to go outside. It's fine. We'll wait till it's not super dark. But that was what I was saying is, with these really long challenge runs that I do sometimes, whether we succeed or fail, I make it a point that's like, okay, we're taking a break from that challenge run to do like another couple different, like something other to like mix it up. Because when you commit to this run, it's like, I very well am committing to like weeks and weeks and weeks of killing zombies. So, it is one of those things you really want to mix up when you get a chance. But, been trying to think of what challenge I would do next, and the one that we have discussed is there is a challenge that they call the Year of Pain, where you give the zombies, I think it's insane pop, so it's not as many zombies as I currently do. It's 13,000 zombies, not 23,000. We'll get there. But it's 13, 1-3. Don't worry. We'll get there. There's actually been a slow day so far as... Yep, that's no problem. I will honor your typo, so long as you allow me to call my next absolutely just getting it wrong a typo, because I will. I might also blame my eyes for it, and also be accurate as well. But yeah, you let me get away with it, I'll let you get away with it. It's okay, it's between us. There's no one else here. Your secret's safe with me. Oh, right, radio. Definitely want to be listening to our radio. Oh, I saw that cold pack. Get this off. I don't want that. Get out of here. I'm just gonna turn it on the car. And part of the reason I like turning on the channel in the car as opposed to my hand radio is I don't have to worry about batteries. I'm gonna refuel my car anyways, so it's not even an issue. Yeah, I think I'll just do a lap around the area, kill the zombies we see, and then when we stop seeing zombies, we'll go to the big parking lot just to the west, and just start blasting the horn. Which I have turned down the horn, I believe, yeah, I have turned down the horn sound so it is not obnoxiously loud when I do that. I did that for the horn, the sirens, and a few other things. Like the spearfishing sound, which is just like earth-shakingly loud at times. And I want a steak and I don't care about it because steaks are awful. so far as wooden spiky bits. Alright, car, let's talk. What do you got for me? Guy think fun or exciting? First, let's see. Ooh, that's a horde coming out of the building. Can't tell how big. Looks like it might be just a medium horde. Yeah, this is kind of the situational awareness thing of check your surroundings before you start committing to stuff. Because, like, once again, the car, if it doesn't start, I can't drive anywhere. So if a zombie comes up on the driver's side window, I have to try and switch seats real fast and get out the other side of the car and just hope it's not a horde that's going to wrap around the car real fast. So that's the reason we approached the house before we started messing with the car. That's a good thing we did, because, you know... you want to talk about it? I hit you through the window. Sure, this is fine. Not trying to cheese him, but if you're just literally gonna, you know, Three Stooges the window and not get out, that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not fully checking, I was just grabbing because I know you can find nails and tools in there, and I'd like a crowbar in a big way. I'm having this bad feeling that car's going to have an alarm. I have no reason or justification to feel that way, and it probably doesn't. But it just feels like the sort of thing that would happen in Project Zomboid, in an area I know isn't particularly safe. Just have an alarm. Nope, it doesn't. And we're still on the lookout for a jack. And no dice. We just one-tapped that one with the nightstick. Feels good. I'm just gonna not worry about that and just keep walking. Oh, it says zombie right there at the door or window. You know, that's what transparent glass is. Here, buddy, I'll let you out. Why was that a jump scare? I let them out. Like, I was clearly aware of them. Change of mind, we're driving. I'm not going through the trees. Trees are evil. They'll betray you. My house is starting to smell delicious, and it's not fair. In 1 second, I may have something I have to respond to. Okay, it's not something I have to respond to. Cool. Hey, Rainbow Timmy, so you can actually participate in chat. Cool. Good to have you. You know, I also appreciate when you lurk as well, just to be clear, but it also is very nice to have people in chat. I will never complain about that. Alright, I got a horde down here. You were discussing having an axe for chopping earlier. Yep. Right, because then it's like, but I need to chop down trees, and I broke all my axes because I was using them on the zombies. It's the same reason, like, so the sledgehammer is a terrible weapon for a lot of reasons. One is the attack speed on it is so slow, it will get you in trouble. It will absolutely demolish anything you hit. That part's good. The damage is good. No complaints there. But, like, the attack speed is, you know, you start the swing, you take a short nap, make yourself a meal, have a little cup of coffee, then you finally hit, and then you repeat that process. So, like, it's best used as a tool for breaking walls and such, not as a weapon. The fire axe is the same thing, but the equivalent for axes. And it's cool if you like those weapons. I have found them to be an absolute trap to get yourself killed. Not axes in general, specifically the fire axe. Or no, I'm sorry, the wood axe, not the fire axe. The red axe is actually good. I'm mixing up the names. The wood axe is the one that's really, really rough. Don't use it as a weapon. And then the sledgehammer. Yeah, and you swing once, and it just says, you know that stamina you had? Well, you don't have it anymore. Yep. I mean, that's usually what ends up happening to me, is not that I wouldn't use the axe as a weapon. I absolutely have. But there are a lot of times where it's just like, oh, I need to chop down some trees. Oh, now I don't have axes for combat because I used them all for the trees. This character, I think I've used a good, probably 3, maybe 4 fireman axes as weapons, because we were finding a bunch earlier. I have been having this weird dry spell on weapons. Like, decent weapons. We've been finding plenty of hunting knives and stuff like that. But, like, it's been a long time since we've seen a crowbar. And we've had decent luck with katanas, considering I've seen 2 already. Machetes I can't complain about. We've had 5. It's just, we had those all earlier, now we're just not finding stuff. Hey, the magazine we've already read. Yeah, mailboxes. If you're ever missing magazines, mailboxes are where it's at. Because it's also nice because you don't have to go in the houses and take the risk that, you know, that has. You just kind of walk in front of a house and poke into their mailbox and go, yep. Rhetorical answer. Ah, so you got those mole fajitas? You were like, mole sounds really good. I'm gonna go get that mole. Hello, horde in the backyard. And apparently inside the house. I want to get around this tree and that porch. Just, yeah, that's exactly why. I was concerned that they would have some that come across the porch and I'd get caught on the corner where I didn't get a chance to dodge. Yeah. They had a barbecue during the infection. At least in this case, to give the people in this universe the benefit of the doubt, this thing hit them fast, that the Nox event triggered, and within, like, days, the entire community's been turned. So they got an excuse. Yep. That's one of the things, like, as you play the game, like, you'll start recognizing that this is a dangerous situation, I need to avoid this corner, or these trees are a dangerous situation, I need to avoid these. You'll start learning what creates risk for you, and you'll try and avoid it. And that's kind of the difference between when you're like... So, you know, when you first start, you don't know how to fight. And you gotta figure that out. Like, that's the beginner, that's the trainee phase. It's just, you know, in ideal conditions, how do you fight? Like, and knowing when to retreat and all that. Then you hit kind of like that intermediate level when you're like, okay, I know when I'm getting ready to be exerted and stuff like that to, you know when I'm like perhaps pushing too hard. And then it's like that third phase where you start actually like getting really good at the game is going, I understand that if I go into the house and I haven't walked around the house first, I am taking an additional risk. And I don't want to do that because additional risks means death. So therefore, I will take the time to go around the house, make sure there's no zombies outside of it, before I go in. That way I'm only tangling with what's inside the house. It is kind of... yeah, it's learning how you can minimize the risk. Like, so when you go to fight the big hordes, going, what can I do to give myself the biggest edge in this fight? Now, granted, I do say, well, I'm not going to do stuff like birds and that, which is taking away one of those edges, but it's a conscious decision because of, you know, what I enjoy doing, not so much what's good and bad and otherwise in the game. Yep. But I mean, honestly, that's the big thing for a lot of fighting, is if you can just put you in a situation where you don't have to really just absolutely perform in a fight, that's good. Because go find most of these fights I get into, I'm fighting one group, and I'm fighting them in a straight line. And that's all being, like, situationally aware and setting things up. But occasionally I'll bump into a pack that was, like, hiding in the trees. That's just the nature of the game. I've got a family member who works in emergency services management. So they're not like an EMT or something like that. Rather, they're the person who goes, okay, they're, you know, hypothetically, fire in California in this location, this fire department cannot respond for reasons XYZ. What do we do? And they just kind of run through whatever plausible scenarios they can come up with. And it was a thing that, you know, they got pressed because they were like, they had a zombie apocalypse plan. And it goes, do we actually think a zombie apocalypse is going to happen? No. Is this plan one that we'll probably ever actually execute on? Probably not. But it's practice planning it out, figuring out who would be the stakeholders and different things, like who would be in charge of making sure the fire department was where they needed to be, where they actually do need to be. How would you determine that? What would be the metrics that, you know, decide these things? You know, what, like, how would you go through all that things to minimize loss of life and all that kind of stuff? And so it's good exercise that at least you're dealing with something you know is fictional, so you don't have to have, like, that horrible... You know, when you're making those decisions, like, okay, we have 2 fire trucks and we have 40 homes that need them. Clearly there's 38 homes that are going to be left out. Strategically, what is the best way to minimize loss of life? Knowing the answer is you cannot prevent all. Where do you put them? And they have to make those difficult decisions versus a fictional exercise they can go into where it's like, okay, I still have to make the decision, but at least I don't go home and have problems sleeping at night knowing I'm saving lives, but at the cost of lives. Project Zomboid. It's not about... Let's see. It's not about Zomboid, it's about managing risk. Welcome to the seminar, and you know, who has their hunting knife? Gotcha. Where did I park my van? I don't think I pulled into one of the driveways. Ah, I was already up a house farther. Well, yeah, I can imagine running medical stuff at, especially like, I imagine you'd probably run them for like foot races and that kind of thing, or bicycle races, where, you know, people are pushing their bodies, and, you know, you'll have people who get overheated and then need medical attention. You'll have people who take like a bad spill and need medical attention. I mean, I'm sure that actually happens at festivals because people party too hard and all that, so I shouldn't act like that's not a thing. Like, I'm actually sure a lot of people party too hard, and that's probably the worst of what you deal with, is just a lot of people who are just not in the right frame of mind because they got a little too much fun. For me, my experience in that was I used to work for city government in an area where hurricanes hit on a regular basis, and we got hit by 3 hurricanes in the same year, one of which we were in the eye of the hurricane, and so I got a lot of experience in disaster preparedness during that event, I will say that much. So if you ever do want to know a lot about hurricanes, I can tell you lots about hurricanes. And a very good option is to have what's known as a bug out bag, which is a bag with important documents, some food, some water, stuff like that, flashlights, batteries, first aid kit, and have that where if you do end up in a disaster area and your plan is to get the expletive out of that area, you've got a bag worth, you know, a week's worth of supplies that you don't have to worry about it. Alright, give me a moment. Zach Preston says, I just want to say, Raw, your stream this last month has been quite nice. I've been able to come home from work and go, dude, I want to relax, eat some pizza, aka what I'm doing right now, and know I can toss in a stream and chill and watch you play. 10 out of 10, would recommend. I really appreciate those words, and that is an adorable emote. An excellent animated emote. And I can't scroll up in OBS to see what the previous comment, but he was talking about being prepared for a blizzard that hit Texas. And I know I can go to my moderator computer. Well, there's an extra generator, so that'd be our third generator. I know I can go to my moderator computer and check, but I would have to do that here. Sometimes, like, I try and keep up with chat, and I also sometimes just go, okay, well, comments got passed. If it's important, they'll repeat them, or others will cash in on, or not cash in. That's not the word I want to use. That's not even remotely accurate. Others will... What's the word I'm looking for? Others will jump in on the conversation, be like, oh yeah, that thing. Yep, and that is literally the idea behind it, is to be a nice, chill place for people to hang out and have a good time. So what I'm going to do... should be doing this right here, is I'm not going to go lugging this generator around because I don't want to, but generator is there. So if you ever do need an extra generator for some reason, which I probably won't, I know where it is. Oh, this, however, I do want. This right here, this is money. Because that's going to have a propane tank, which I can use for a torch. And I can use that to take apart cars and metal things, and that's useful. They also weigh 10 kilograms, which kind of sucks. Yeah, no, I can definitely take the generator. It's 40 kilograms, so it's just I already have. I think it's like 3 generators I know where are. So it's just like I don't have a use for it, and that means I got to throw it in my car, so it'll take up a passenger seat for a while. It's not a big deal. So now, if you ever see these silver grills, you can choose remove propane tank. And that's 10. Luckily I have enough room in my bag, so should... Oh, actually, I can just carry the whole propane tank. My person is just like, look how strong I am. I'm just going to carry my backpack, and I'm just going to chuck an entire propane tank on my back. And it is chill. There is nothing to worry about. Not even breaking a sweat. Technically, I am breaking a sweat, but that's because I'm wearing too much, not because of how hard I'm working. Yep. Her official thing is she is stout, according to the description. And if you bear with me, it sounds like my wife is home, so I'm going to take 2 seconds to run downstairs, welcome her home and all that, see if she needs anything, and then we'll be right back up. I still have a little bit longer till I have to do stuff with dinner, 12 minutes, but I'm going to go, welcome her home, and I'll be back here in just a minute. In the meantime, make sure you're eating, drinking, stretching, and taking care of yourself. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, and thank you for the follow. Marvelous Addy, welcome to stream, and we're going to get back at it. Okay. Sorry. Just had a little bit of background noise, so... that's my wife being very helpful. Oh, yep, let me get that fixed. Yep, when I use the full break screen, I'm usually pretty good about not leaving it up. I think I've only done that once. It left the full break screen. But the little one that's just text on the screen, I'm like 1 in 3 getting it wrong. Just leaving it up on accident. Always want to grab hunting knives. They're always a good time. Streaming partner comes to make strange noises to help out with relationship goals. Or help out relationship goals. Yeah. I mean, she's been on stream a good couple times when we're co-oping this. And so when I have to use like the restroom or pop down to like do something with dinner or something, when she's doing that, she'll hop on and actually chat with chat. Be careful, chat. She's in chat. She's watching. Alright. Another pro tip for people who are also new. When you go and say, I want to go in this house, run up to the door, or walk up to the door, hold right mouse button, hit space a bunch of times to shove the door. It makes a bunch of noise, so zombies inside will, you know, start banging on windows and doors and all that. Kind of letting you know where they are. Yeah, to do that point redemption, I actually need her on stream, so the last couple of weeks when it's come to the Saturday that we were co-oping, you know, she's had other things she's wanted to get done, so she hasn't been able to multiplayer there. But next time she is on stream, I'll definitely turn that back on. I don't know when that is, though. A rhetorical answer says, I have no idea that when I get to move in with my partner, if I streamed their daughter, would absolutely want to join me. Oh, no doubt. I can read. I-words. Yep. Yep, especially like with some people, it's like kind of a big thing. Should I study up on the topic? Oh gosh. And Bern's like, no, that's the fun of it. Mm-hmm. The more it seems like a Calvin's dad answer, the better it is. Where it's like to the mind of someone completely unaware of the subject matter, it seems plausible, but to anyone who actually has any clue about it, they're like, I think you're lying to me. I was trying to open the window for them, but, you know, they were just a little bit too impatient. And Axizal says, hey, good morning. Where did you find your katanas? In Zeds? Yes. From what I've been told, after you've survived for 2 months, you have a chance of katana showing up in zombies. And I do believe the lucky trait increases the chance of that happen, but I'm not 100% in that. But I pretty strongly believe that is the case. But yeah, you'll just fight zombies and you'll find it. So at this point, we're right about to hit 14,000 zombie kills in this character. And I have had 2 katanas. So if we take in considerations, I'm finding about 1 katana a month on average now that they're eligible, but it's been a long time since I've seen one. We got 2 and not too much time, and then a whole lot of nothing. So it also could have been fluky that we did find 2 katanas that quick, because I have not seen many katanas for the hours I've played this game. For context, I believe we're at 5 or 6 machetes we found in this character, and then 2 katanas, to give you like a ratio of what I've seen. Now granted, our sample size is extremely small, so I would not take that as like a baseline to go, oh, that's the rate I should see these. Need a bigger sample size. Oh, they just busted that door down is what they did. Okay. You notice I ran that last little step or two. That's because I didn't know if there was going to be a zombie there. If there was, we would shove the zombie unceremoniously out of the way and then be able to deal with it. So I can actually demonstrate that here. So we got the zombie here. If I run it, we'll just give it a shove. You can do that for 1 or 2 zombies. It does throw you off balance, but after like 2 to 3 zombies, you will likely trip. And if you trip, it's a really bad time. And I have... Okay, let's see. The Greater Dangers just started a new run and found a duffel bag pretty early, but it's black and the icon blends in the UI. How lame. I guess I need to find a different one. Yeah, that has been one of my complaints, is the pure black duffel bag. You just cannot see it in your UI at all. Like, you put your mouse over it, you can see it. But it really needs to either have a contrast background or a border, or like even if the bag on your character is pitch black, sure. Make it so the icon is like charcoal gray or gunmetal gray or something. Something that's, okay, clearly this is a dark color, but not quite black. Give me 1 second, because I need to check my timer. And I see you're all causing trouble. Yeah, I think, because when I walked away, I was like, entertain chat. Or, like, engage chat or something. Like, just, you know, jokingly as I was walking away. And she was like, I don't know what button to push. And in my head, I'm like, I hope she is not going to actually hop over to my computer and try and mess with me. Because I'm like, I would be very afraid she would accidentally hit one of the buttons that would unpause it. It's very unlikely. But she would hit a button to unpause it and then be like, oh no. And while she has played the game, you know, my keyboard layout and all that stuff. There's no point redemption. I'm going to ask Toom a question anyways. The problem is she's not on mic, and that really is the fun part, is like hearing her come up with the answers and all that. Oh, if you're ever looking for a very defensible position for a base, well, generally the Rosewood Fire Department is probably the best in the map. This hallway here is actually a really good spot as well, because you can just kind of block this spot here, block the other end of it, and then literally it's just the two ends that are even the only ways you can get in. She's telling secrets. Yeah, this song, like, there's been a number of times. I think I've like down thumbed it to make it go away. I think I may not have. There's been a few songs that I've been like, please get this off my playlist. Where it's especially the songs where it's like, a repeating melody, and then it's just a person talking about, it's like, you have to create music to know music. You can't learn it in a book. Like, that's great. I appreciate your music theory and all that, but like, I really wish you had spent this, you know, music philosophy time, like making an actual, like, song or something. Because I'm not here for a lecture, I'm here for music. Yeah, it is the song. It's a weird song. I mean, that probably wouldn't actually be that hard for me to trouble empty tune, because I've literally done that to people before. And then on top of that, usually my first instinct is to unplug it and re-plug it. Okay. Set the image to one of those. The shattered screen ones don't work with the LCD, because LCD just doesn't shatter in that way. It gets like the whole part of it goes dead pixel, whatever. I mean, you can get that screen, but it doesn't work as well. And then you turn it off and it goes away. Don't get me wrong, I've pranked people, because when you're in IT, what better do you have to do? But then, you know, prank other IT people. I've done that one. I've screenshot people's desktop icons and then deleted the icons. Yeah, I actually... It's like, people who are into RGB, cool. I don't care for RGB lighting and everything. Like, I get kind of annoyed. It's like, I want a good headset. Can I get one without RGB? No. I mean, headset's actually fine. It's like some of the mice and all that and keyboards. Like, okay, I want a good mechanical keyboard. Well, it comes with RGB. Can I get it without RGB? I'll like actually pay like $5 more to get it without it. They're like, no, that's not an option. It's like, okay. I'll get the lights, and then I'll go in the software and I'll turn them off, or turn them to something super mild. Like just teal with nothing else happening. The more fun one with the screenshot one is find the icon that they're going to use, get rid of just that, but leave the other icons there. So it looks like just that one icon isn't working. It's way more confusing that way. Well, I don't have a problem with like rainbow stuff. It's just usually it's like I don't like, this is a light that's like catching the corner of my eye the entire time I'm trying to do stuff. So it's like a distraction. Did I turn off the... I did not turn off the radio station, I don't think. Yeah, no, I like, if other people have RGB, cool. It does not bother me at all. Mind showing skills real quick? I can do that. Give me 1 second. I just want to hop in the van, turn off the radio. That way if zombie strolls up, you know, it's the whole thing. Yep, so we're still at fitness 5, strength 6. Nimble is still right about to hit 4. Our combat skills are all around 5. Some of them are getting right on the edge of 6. Carpentry is right about to hit 9. Cooking right about to hit 7? Yeah. Yeah, 7. And tailoring and farming are pretty good. And then aiming is at 5, and then the rest of the skills are kind of crap. Is this that house way out in the northwest? No. So actually, because I'm basically killing time till it's time for us to sleep, so we wake up at a reasonable time. I mean, I guess it is in the northwest, but I'm imagining you mean way up here. Yeah. So this is the country club, and so I chose this one up here. So basically, this is where we've been based. This is our main base is right here, and we're pushing our way to Riverside. And I asked chat which way I should go in to attack Riverside, and a bunch of people voted for the country club. So we're like, okay, you know, yeah. Now when you said to the northwest, it's like, okay, you probably mean, I think it's that one is the nice house to the northwest. The really nice one. One moment. I have noms. Let's see. So rhetorical answer says, I just realized, oh, and I'm not trying to be paused. That's like, rhetorical answer says, oh, I was curious earlier, but didn't ask about your base. Was there an actual building there you tore down, or was it just the gas pumps? Okay, so I'll actually show you in the map because, again, I'm just killing time. Huh. I guess for some reason I thought I could move the map with my keyboard, but I guess I can't. Not there, Mer. Alright, so if you actually look here, this little yellow green icon, this is the actual gas station building. Now, I had originally planned on building my base inside there, but when we arrived, it was already burned down, so that became a non-viable option. So instead, we built our building over here. But yeah, there is a gas station at the two pumps with like a little convenience store in the bottom floor and an apartment in the top floor, and then these are like external restrooms. Unfortunately, fire kind of ruined that for us. Now, granted, it wasn't that I started a fire and it spread, it's just some buildings have a random chance of being burned down when you start. Alright, and I'm just fast forwarding a little bit so that we get to 10 o'clock. We're getting proper sleepy. We'll probably still wake up early.